and follow Winter in Training on Twitter. So next question comes from, I don't know why it was doing the whole italic thing when I copied and pasted. It's all like in cursive. But so I'm gonna have to go to @JDMorgan to JDMorgan. Has George seen the new Trolls movie, Trolls World Tour? I'm sure she'll dig it. So that's the question I wanted to ask you. Did you join the watch party and watch the Trolls World Tour? Did you watch that?
No.
You didn't
No, I didn't see the first one either.
What?
You have kids. I don't.
I saw that Trolls movie by my damn self, by the way.
I have not.
I think they were with me.
I've yet to experience the magic. I'm sure. Sure, they're great.
Well, when you finish watching the Good Dinosaur for the 37th time,
had you seen it?
What, the World Tour? With the new one? No. I'm gonna wait till this energy dies down a little bit. I was trying to get a press.
You want to beat the crowd? It's streaming on your TV.
Yeah, but I think if I'm not mistaken, this is the one where they're testing out the whole because it was supposed to go to theaters a few days ago. We're gonna charge you $20 or something to see it or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. I mean, if I'm gonna spend that much money, it's going to be in the movie theater. So it'll be one of the ones that I'll wait to watch when it's on regular streaming, and maybe I'll buy it because if I'm not mistaken, I own the first. We've seen it, but I don't know if I own the first. I can't believe
you're not more concerned about hearing spoilers for the Trolls film.
It's just like a Hallmark movie. I'm sure that they're going to find the problem with the way this guy's singing the song, and then at the end they're all going to be singing it that way, you know. Oh, the hip hop troll, I don't like that. Now I love it. No, the country troll, I don't like country music. Now I love it. We can all sing together, and they're all probably going to have one big giant track where each troll brings their verse in, and it's going to sound like the way the CMA sounds today versus the way it used to sound. Like, to me, the CMA is straight up hip hop nowadays. It's weird. It's just throwing me off. Yeah. So I'm thinking I don't know if that's where the movie ends, but I'm sure somewhere down the line, the Good Dinosaur is going to make a cameo. It's going to be great.
Actually, they kill one of the trolls in this one, so good luck avoiding those spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert, Justin doesn't make it, but they'll release the Snyder cut. We're moving on to the next one.
I want the butthole cut of Trolls. I want the butthole cut.
What is up with you with that?
You've been quarantined too long, Chris. I'm getting punchy.
Oh man. Okay. I just had a vision in my head. I don't even want to go there. At mortlandpaine, he writes, did you see that lesbian painter movie where one of them turned out to be a time traveler? No.
I thought I knew what movie you were talking about.
This was one of the best questions I've ever seen in my life. First I was like, wait, no. Well,
I'm like thinking of movies that it could be that I didn't know had a time travel subplot. Like, I'm gonna be watching a movie someday, and halfway through I'm gonna be like, damn it, she's a time traveler. I'm gonna have to tweet that guy and be like, spoiler.
Yeah, oh yeah, he did probably. Yeah, they probably spoiled the very end of it, but it was interesting how this question and I don't know if this question was directed at anybody. It was just out there on Twitter. It was, did you see that lesbian? I like the way they put it, that lesbian painter movie. And I didn't want to cheat and Google it and find it out. I wanted to see your reaction, that reaction right there, where you go, huh. I
wish I knew what it was. I wish I could be like, oh yeah, it's this.
If you know the answer to this question, that mortlandpaine is asking, what the hell is this movie? And I wish he would have given us the name of it, because I'm going to look this one up.
I don't know, but the Georgia O'Keeffe story really did not see that coming.
I mean, I've never seen a question have a M. Night Shyamalan plot twist like that one did. That was amazing. All right, now Dan to Alyssa Milano. Just curious, Alyssa, do you regret that Commando movie, or was it okay when you were getting paid? And don't give us that I was a dumb kid shit. Do you regret it? do you know the movie that Dan is talking about? Commando. Do you remember that old
I didn't see it, no.
It's one of those Arnold Schwarzenegger action films. It was called Commando. It was like Alyssa Milano's like one of her first movie roles. I think she played his daughter. I think she got kidnapped, and Arnold had to be Arnold, and get down.
So she was literally a kid.
Yeah, literally a kid. And I love the way Dan is all like, "Don't give us this I was a kid shit."
I hope Dan is like going up to kid. Oh, do you feel good about that painting of the sun you did with eyes? The sun doesn't have eyes. Yeah. Don't give me that.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that kindergarten shit.
Are you crying over ice cream? Do you feel bad about that? You should be embarrassed.
Dan seems like the kind of guy that would scar children just to make an impact on their life. Like jump out of the bushes, dressed as a clown, knock ice cream out of some kid's hand, like you're gonna remember this for the rest of your life, and then disappear into the night. Like just so that kid will fear ice cream and clowns forever. So I don't know why he's going.
Just like you told her, Dan. I'm sure Alyssa Milano's lying awake at night now. Like I shouldn't have done that movie.
I should have done that movie. I was what? 30, I was like what? 10 years old, 13 years old.
It's not an excuse, Chris. It's not an excuse.
My movie career was just starting off. I was in. Wasn't Alyssa Milano on a TV series like Growing Pains or something like that? I think she was.
Yeah.
During that time,
she was like a kid actor for sure.
Straight up kid actor. Now. Well, here's a question for you, Dan. Did you know that Ariel from The Little Mermaid was modeled after Alyssa Milano? That's who Ariel is. So does she regret the choices that she made in her young acting career? She's the Little Mermaid, damn it. So, I think that's the answer right there. Do you regret,
you have too many numbers in your Twitter handle, Dan?
Yeah. Do you regret the 2201-1103? Was Dan just not available, and now you're just taking it out on Alyssa Milano?
Man, he's coming for Alyssa Milano. We shouldn't. He's gonna dox us. There's no reason this guy's not gonna come for us.
I have a theory why he's probably going at Alyssa Milano. People are going at her hard right now because of your character, Joe Biden. I was like saying that she didn't go at him enough for the allegations made on him. So I think a lot of people are going at her for her non-answer to that situation. But I mean, they're going to do it no matter what.
Legitimate complaint. I don't really care that she was in Commando. I hope she did. It was okay when she was getting paid. Right. That's being an actor, Dan.
I wish Alyssa Milano would answer him directly and goes, I got paid more than Arnold did in his own movie. So no, I don't regret that movie at all. But no, I'm sure it was fine. I mean, look, she had a good movie career and good TV career. She's still working. She's still relevant to a lot of people. I mean, I mean, she's not the top. I mean, we're talking about her. I mean, this is a win. We're here. We're live, and we're talking about Alyssa Milano right now. So I think she's the winner of this feud between her and Dan. But let us know what you guys think. Do you think Alyssa Milano regrets her role in Commando as a child? Maybe there's a whole thing we're not even knowing about this. Now people are gonna like tweet in like, dude, you didn't hear or something, this such and such happened on that set, and I'm gonna feel bad or something like that. So
they're gonna be right under the tweets. They're like, you haven't seen lesbian time traveling painters?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you didn't know? What if that was the same movie?
It's Commando the whole time.
Yeah. The Commando lesbian time traveling painters. There's your movie. Yeah.
Open back up Hollywood. We got an idea for you.
Let's go to the next question from Diana. Diana, she just, I think this was just in the Twitter sphere. Do y'all pronounce it Revenge of the Sith or the best Star Wars movie? Oh, there's the question right there. How do you pronounce Revenge of the Sith?
I'm gonna say the first one because that's how.
You don't refer to it as the best Star Wars movie?
Can't say I do. Cannot say I do.
What?
I'm doing like a Star Wars rewatch right now. I'll get back to you, but I have a sneaking suspicion.
how that you don't think that the Revenge of the Sith is going to stand up to, as stand the test of time as being even better than Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope. You know, I mean, all of those classics. I think Revenge. I think this person might be right. I think Revenge of the Sith may have just erased all those other previous Star Wars movies and everything that came afterwards, because it was the first movie that had the least amount of Jar Jar Binks dialogue. So that was the win for Hollywood. Now, I was like, when I saw that question, I was like, come on, that's harsh. Why are you being so mean to? Obviously, the question has to be sarcastic. I'm like, unless Diana really loves Revenge of the Sith. I mean, the Twitter handle is
her Twitter handle, yeah.
Valerian.
Yeah.
But so who knows?
Hey, different strokes, you know.
Diana might be a fellow Sith, a Lord of the Sith, and is like, hey, I got to see Anakin turn to the dark side and kill younglings. What's not to like?
It's not to like.
I'm just saying. Spoilers. Sorry. I have a friend. I recommended that movie when that movie was out in theaters. I said, hey, go see it. It's pretty good. Go check it out. And she has such an affinity of seeing any film or any TV scene where a kid is endangered or hurt or anything like that. She just can't handle it. So she hated that one, like the movie. But when that scene came up, she went to the movie and saw it. And I was the first person she called to yell at. Why the hell did you not warn me about that youngling scene? I'm sorry, I forgot. But it was the best Star Wars movie of all time, though, right? It's like, no.
Just forward that tweet to her and be like,
I'm sure she would have a lot to say about it. So yeah, let us know. What do you guys think? Answer that question for us, guys. Do you sound it out as the Revenge of the Sith or the best Star Wars movie ever? What is the best Star Wars movie ever? The answer begins and ends with Empire Strikes Back for me. So let's change my mind. All right, moving on to the one of the last questions coming up. Justin watches movies. It says, what was the last movie that made you cry?
I think I talked about this when we did our Onward review.
Was it
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh
no, it was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. What made you cry about Guardians of the Galaxy? It was a happiest movie of all time.
Oh, come on. When he opens the tape from his dead mom, and it's the second part of the tape, and he plays it, and it's not even, and like that, I'm like, oh, that's very sad. And then it's Ain't No Mountain High Enough. And that song gets me. And it's like a really sweet little montage. And I've also been in quarantine for like 4 weeks, and I'm losing my grip on it. So it was one of those, like, I got a little teary-eyed, and my body was like, yes, time to release some of this. And I just like full sobbed like a low.
And dancing at the same time. Hashtag cry groove. So like do the ugly cry in the mirror. Oh my God.
I was like doing the baby Groot dance, like.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I get. What was the last movie that made me cry? The last movie that made me cry, I'm not gonna lie. Said movie. Okay, so I was about to say a TV show. Last movie that made me cry, Onward. I'm not gonna. It did it. It got me. The brotherly love, the situation. I'm surrounded by my kids. They're looking at the screen like this. They're being all captivated by it. They see the whole brotherly love. I got to share my life with you, and you taught me how to ride a bike. You pushed me in the pool, and all that stuff. And I was reminiscing all that. My brother was kind of like my father figure. That got me right here. And I think one streamed down, but I manned up in the middle of it. So I willed it to stop right here and made it retreat back into my arms. Exactly. I wasn't going to
did a little 3-point turn back into your eyeball.
Exactly. I just sniffed real hard and it just went right back in there. No, I don't care. I get emotional whenever, like I said, whenever I'm watching a movie and it's a scenario where I can imagine my kids are in the middle of it or being in the situation. I get all weepy. It hits me. I cry what I call dude tears. Dude tears.
Yeah, hey, no judgment. That was a beautiful movie. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I do put mascara on first, and then because
sure.
I want people to see it, because that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm secure enough to do that. But let us know, what was the last movie that made you guys cry? So comment below, let me know what you guys think about that. No, let us know the answer to that. And the final question comes in from a friend of mine, JFS. I mean, speaking about long Twitter handles, what is up with that? But he says, which class? He actually sent in a lot of questions, but I decided to only do one because I want to save a lot of his questions for like future episodes. Which classic horror movie do you hope Hollywood will never make a remake out of, or think deserves a remake? He snuck in 2 questions anyway. Which Hollywood horror movie do you hope will never will make a remake out of, or think deserves a remake, that you think does not deserve a remake and hope Hollywood does not make one of? They've already done The Invisible Man. They've already slated to do a bunch of the horror ones.
Yeah, I feel like so many of the most horror movies that I think are really great, I just don't want a remake of. Because it's like, it works already. I don't need you to cram a bunch of, CGI and jump scares in. Like, it's effective. Or even if it's not, like, something like Nightmare on Elm Street, which I think
they already
probably has been.
They've already
but it's like, I don't need another I don't need you to keep trying to update stuff that works because it's like fun and campy in 80s. Like, I don't want to watch the remake of that. I don't want you to try to do another one. I guess maybe some of the like classic monster movies would be fun, but I don't know. What do you think?
Which horror movie? So I mean, when he specifically when he went to the horror genre, because I don't get offended when a movie gets remade. It doesn't delete the original one in my mind. So no, I'm just interested. If he would have said any movie in Hollywood in general, maybe I would have had a list. But when it comes to horror movies, I'm like, there's a lot of horror movies that were made back in the day that were really scary back then, but wouldn't scare a kid, today based on what they've been exposed to and whatnot. So there's a lot of horror movies that could benefit from an update. But which one wouldn't I want? So, well, we've already got The Invisible Man. Dracula's already been redone. That Dracula Untold thing didn't go well. Maybe that's why he asked the question, because a lot of those horror movies, they tried to do reboots to Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. But then you have the Michael Myers. I feel like
they don't work, or they're not super successful unless you can really come up with something new to say. I feel like it just feels gratuitous.
Going back to Nightmare on Elm Street, it did fail, but I believe the reason why I didn't like it was because they did a twist on. Now, spoiler, guys, if you didn't watch the reboot or remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, the twist was because Freddy Krueger originally was a child killer, and then the families of those victims and the whole town found out. They cornered him. They trapped him in a building, burnt him alive, and then he came back to get his revenge on their kids. In the remake, it was in the middle of the movie that he was accused once again by those parents. They killed him, but then it was like he might have been innocent the whole time. And I thought that was a great twist. But they went there. It was like Freddy was falsely accused. He was just innocently playing with those kids, and he never touched one of them. So him being killed by their parents, I would be pissed too. But then later on, it turned out he actually did, and they went right back to the original plot. So I was like, okay, well, so we've already seen this already. So I thought that was why I didn't like it, because if you're gonna take liberties, if you're gonna go for it, go for it. I felt like that movie, they went for it, and then at the end, somebody was like, "We really want to make Freddy Krueger a nice guy," and then like put it back, So I can't think of what movie that I wouldn't want to see a remake of. I can think of movies that I could, but I mean, I was thinking, do I want to see a remake of The Fly? And at first I was like, maybe not. But then I was like, well, maybe I do. I don't know. I can't answer that question because I'm not offended when a movie gets remade. I mean,
I'm not offended. I guess I feel like if the movie worked, let it just have worked. And if it doesn't, you got to really come up with like a way to make it happen.
You can't. You're not going to please. You're not going to please everybody. So I mean, like the whole Ghostbusters in 2016, making it an all-female cast. People were against it and all that stuff, and they panned it after it was done. But if the movie was better executed, they would be our Ghostbusters right now. I mean, they would. I mean, the franchise would have continued on. I mean,
again, like you also just could have made a fun kind of, you know, ghost-based comedy with those 4 actresses and come up with a slightly different story. You would have avoided all that anger.
Yeah, but when a
not that anger was founded in anything.
Oh yeah, no, but that anger, a lot of that anger was being given to them before the movie even came out. So they were they were coming up from all that resentment anyway, from the hardcore the real fans. But like movies like Scarface, for example, people are like, why are you going to remake that classic? I'm like, well, you do know that classic you're talking about is a remake of another movie called Scarface that was made out in the 50s, I believe. So sometimes remakes work. For horror, I just can't think of one franchise that I've seen in the past that wouldn't. I would have, you know what? I would have said it until they did it. Now, before it came out, I think that was one of the movies I was like, I mean, the TV series was great. Why do we need a remake of it? And then when I saw it, it was great. I would have said it, but then it worked. So I can't think of any. Scary
it's like
movie.
Anything.
the comedy scary movie or Scream, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they shouldn't.
Actually, I would actually love to see a new scary movie doing like modern, you know, just because I feel like horror movie tropes have shifted since the scary movies came out. It'd be super fun.
Only if they did it the way, not necessarily saying that the Wayans brothers should come back because they stepped away from their own franchise. Only if they tried to take it a little, this is weird to say because it was a damn comedy. The first 2 movies seem to take their spoof more seriously than they did than the ones that came after it. But if they try to make fun of these new movies, these new horror movies that are out, that are really taking themselves more seriously, but upping their game on their writing and the quality, and try to up the game on how to spoof it, I guess, because it's hard to make a good spoof movie nowadays because real quick, I know we're running out of time, but here's my theory on spoof movies. The reason why they suck today is because back in the day when you had a movie that was loved, and then a spoof of that movie came out. Well, back in the day, the budgets for that original movie and that spoof were probably similar. Nowadays, budgets for movies are like $200 million. How are you going to spoof a movie at a $200 million budget with a $30 million or a $10 million budget and make me interested in even seeing it? I think ever since that gap was increased, I think spoofs decline.
Yeah, because I feel like to really parody something correctly, you have to, like, I always say, like, I think the Mel Brooks movies are such good parodies because you could pull the comedy from Blazing Saddles and you have the bones of an incredible Western, like the cast and the set and the, you know.
Right.
Or like
you can take a character from one and put him in the other, and it looked. The sets looked the same. They were on the same par. Now you got not another superhero movie, whatever that spoof movie was called, and you're trying to punch up to that giant called X-Men and stuff. I was like, no, it made it all look ridiculous. So, but we just went from horror all the way to spoofs. I don't know how we did this. So yeah, I guess that's my answer. I guess Scream. I guess don't reboot that. I say continue Scream. I don't want to see a reboot. I heard there might be a reboot of Scream. I think it's time to continue do another sequel of Scream, and I think it's time for Ghostface or whoever the new killer is to kill Sidney and get rid of the first original cast. It's time. There's no way in the world they should have survived this long. It's time. They need to all go. That's my answer. The question was, which one do you not want to make a remake of? Yeah, it's Scream. I want a sequel of Scream. I don't want to remake a Scream.
Remake anything you want. I'll half watch it through my hands and nervous talking the whole time anyways. Don't matter.
Breaking all my movie rules the whole time. Yeah, that's right.
That's the one. Horror movies, I have to talk through. I'm like, okay, here it comes. I know what's happening. I know what's going to happen.
When the scary part comes up, you pretend to cough so you don't have to look at it and stuff like that. You can't handle a horror movie? Oh, see, you my fiance.
I talk through them. I talk to people in haunted houses too. I'm like, I know you're back there. No, you're okay. You got me. You got me.
I see you, Doug. I see.
I try to have a conversation. It humanizes it.
You gotta record that and live stream that one. That's hilarious. I know you're out there. I know you're there.
Oh, you jumped at the person in front of me. Now you're gonna. Okay, thank you.
I was a little kid and I walked through one of those haunted houses. I had my little brother with me. There's like a 5-year age difference between us, and I held him in front of me the whole time. I used him as a shield. And I would do the same again during the zombie apocalypse. Yes, I would. That's just how it is. But that's okay. All right, guys. That's the time. I know I've been keeping you up. We've almost gone an hour. I appreciate you answering these questions for me and with me. I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope I was able to accurately, or even more importantly, unaccurately, and with a lot of ridiculousness, answer all those questions that were not even aimed at us, because that was the best parts for me until then. So then, guys, I appreciate it. Like I said, send all your questions in. Amy, if you want to find her, where on Twitter or Facebook, where can they find you online?
Yeah, I'm at amy.n.newman on Instagram and amy_n_Newman on Twitter. Yeah. Did some stuff with Adventures in La La Land, all caps comedy, all good stuff.
And soon to be in Good Dinosaur 2, Pixar.
And if anybody wants to read my spec script for the Good Dinosaur 2, just DM me. There are a lot more sex scenes in this one.
Oh yeah, you want to know how the dinosaurs really got extinct?
That's a good dinosaur, you know what I'm saying?
All right, okay. Now I know what I'm gonna be thinking about when I go to bed.
On you, Chris.